So this video is to show you fitting instructions for the chest harness on an Atlanta or a Monaco chair. So when you look underneath the top waterfall pillow, you'll see that we have attached these brackets to the inside of the back. And depending on the length of the harness that you need, the easiest way is to use this buckle, which you can use to clip the harness on to the back, and like this, and to click it off again. So if size is an issue, you may have to take the brass buckle off and just connect straight from this plastic part right into this bracket, which is attached onto the chair. So it's a matter of looping this around the bracket which is attached to the chair and discarding the brass part at the end. So in order to discard that, you just unloop it from this cord which is attached to the chest harness. So that's for the attachment of the top portion of the chest harness, and you'd want to adjust that appropriately using these straps, the longer straps, and these numbers are here to guide you as to how small or large you need the harness to be. So you can adjust that up and down for different degrees of tightness. The medium-sized chest harness may be too large for some patients, so the small-sized chest harness will be a little bit smaller and will get a little bit tighter for people. So if the medium isn't small enough, the small chest harness is a little bit smaller, and that combined with shortening the bracket by taking off the brass buckle will make it a little bit tighter and better fitting for a smaller client. For the bottom portion of the chest harness, again you have these loops which are on the left and on the right hand side, and as you can see here, this is going in beside the arm of the chair. So to attach this part on the side of the chair, what you do is bring the strap around between the top of the arm and the back, and we slide it down the back until we attach it onto this loop at the bottom. And then in order to tighten this, again we reduce the length of the strap and use these numbers as a guide. So that's how to fit the chest harness. Now you want it nice and snug on the person's chest, but notice what happens when you recline the back on the chair. The chest harness does get looser, and if the person has got a tendency to slide down the chair, this may become a hazard. So you want to be really careful of that. If the person is at risk of sliding, you may want to consider maybe a separate harness to hold the pelvis in place. Or maybe consider not using this chest harness, because if the person slides in the reclined position, the belt does get looser, and so that may become a hazard. Now, if we fit the chest harness tightly when we're in the reclined position, when we come back up again, it will get much tighter, so that's a hazard in itself. So that's just something you really have to be aware of before you use a chest harness on one of our chairs which tilts or reclines. So that's instructions for the chest harness. If you're still unsure on any of these points, please contact our office, and if you have any safety concerns about people sliding or moving in the chairs while they're using a chest harness, please do call us, contact our office, contact your local seating specialist, because safety is paramount, and there are some risks with chest harnesses which you really have to be sure of before you prescribe this for a client.